Hello everyone, in this video we'll discuss the dynamic force analysis of slider crank mechanism through analytical method. So there are two ways of analyzing any system. One is the graphical and the second one is the analytical. The graphical one, which is based on diagrams, it gives better visualization of the concept or the mechanism. But because it involves so many drawings and diagrams, there are chances of making errors. Whereas in analytical method where we are making use of the formulae, there are less chances of making the errors. So we'll find the formulae and we'll do the analytical analysis of slider crank mechanism. So we have considered a slider crank in which the crank is denoted by OA and the length of the crank is small r. The length of the connecting rod is denoted by L. B is showing the slider and B and B1 are basically the positions of slider, right? And theta is the angle turned by the crank from inner dead center. From this position, from this horizontal position, when the crank moves to this new position OA, this angle is theta, right? So inner dead center and outer dead center we are denoting by IDC and ODC, which are the extreme positions of the crank. So B is the position of the piston when the crank OA was at I inner dead center. That means when it was in this horizontal position. And when this crank has moved to a new position which is making angle theta with this initial position, the new position of piston is B1. So the displacement is denoted by small x. So what is the small x? It is basically this distance which is BB1. Now what is BB1? If we look at in this triangle, if we look in the geometry of this mechanism, BB1 is OB minus OB1, right? Now what is this distance OB? OB is the distance when the crank was at inner dead center, means the crank and connecting rod, they were in this horizontal position. So OB becomes L plus R. And what is this OB1? OB1 is B1 A1 plus A1O, right? So if we look in this triangle A B1 A1, B1 A1 is L cos beta. Cos beta is the angle which the connecting rod makes with the horizontal or with the line of inner dead center, and theta is the angle which the crank makes with inner dead center, right? And A1O, if we look in this triangle A1O, A1O is R cos theta. And we have introduced a ratio which says L upon R is equal to N. So we'll replace L with N upon R and you take R common out. So this is the value of displacement in terms of cos beta and cos theta. Now there are two angles, two variables, so it is not easy to solve the equation and it is not, right, it is not easy. So what we'll do, we'll convert this beta to theta, right? So cos beta is what? We'll apply simple trigonometry, which is cos beta is under root 1 minus sine square beta. Now if you go in this triangle A1 and B1, sine beta is what? Y. Y is this, we have made a construction, this is the vertical distance from point A, so this is Y. So sine beta is Y upon L, right? And if in this triangle A1O we see what is Y? Y is R sine theta. So we replace Y square with R sine theta square, right? And in this equation we already have L square in denominator. So L upon R is what? N. So L square upon R square will become N square. We take the LCM and after taking LCM, because this is N square, we can take it out from the root and this is the equation number 2. The next step is we put the value of this cos beta in equation number 1 and solve it. So when you put the value of cos beta, this n cancels out and we are left with this equation which is r n plus 1 minus under root n square minus sine square theta minus cos theta. We just do simple reshuffling of all the variables in the equation. So this is the equation for x that we get. Now in cases when L is very large in comparison to R, which is the length of the crank, And so what happens, n is what, L upon R. If L is very large and R is very small, so n square will also become very large, right? So if n and sine theta, what can be the maximum value of sine theta? It can be 1. So from a very large quantity, even if we are subtracting 1, it will not have much impact. So we can replace this term of sine square theta. So this under root n square minus sine square theta, it is almost equivalent to under root n square. So we'll replace it directly in the equation. So this is replaced by n. Root n square will be n, and this n gets cancelled out, and the formula we are left with is r 1 minus cos theta when L is much greater than the value of the r. Now to find the velocity of the piston. What is velocity? Velocity is change in displacement with respect to time or per unit time. So velocity is dx upon dt. Now the velocity that we have calculated is in terms of theta. So what we'll do? Dx upon d theta into d theta upon dt. And we place the value of x that we have calculated. This is the value of x that we have calculated, right? So we put the whole value in this equation, and what is d theta upon dt? It is omega, angular velocity. So when we differentiate this, right, cos theta is minus sine theta, and n square minus sine square theta power 1 by 2, it becomes minus 1 by 2, and sine square theta becomes 2 sine theta cos theta, right? So when we solve this whole equation, this is the value that we get, which is the value of velocity of piston. Now if n square is greater than sine square theta, that means if n is large such that sine square, see, the maximum value of sine square theta can be 1. So if n square is large, you can just simply neglect the value of sine square theta. So the equation becomes this, where the denominator is only 2n and we do not take the factor of sine square theta. And if n is very large, right? If n is very large, so if you keep it in denominator, it will make this factor very small. So we can again ignore this factor in case n is very large. So the equation of velocity becomes r omega sine theta. Now we know the formula for velocity of piston. To calculate the acceleration, it is the change in velocity per unit time, or the rate of change of velocity. So dv upon dt. Now because the velocity, the value of velocity is in terms of theta, so it becomes dv upon d theta into d theta upon dt. We know the value of v, we place the value of v in the equation, and what is d theta upon dt? It is omega, right? So now we differentiate this equation with respect to theta, it becomes r omega square. These are the constant terms, we'll take them out. Sin theta is cos theta, sin 2 theta is cos 2 theta, and differentiation of 2 theta, it gives 2 upon 2n. So this is the value of acceleration for piston. Now if n is very large, so if n is very large, what will happen? This term will become very small. So equation becomes r omega square cos theta. And here I've written two values at inner dead center and outer dead center. At inner dead center, theta is 0 degree, and at outer dead center, theta is 180 degree. So the equation changes to r omega square. Theta cos 0 is 1, so it becomes 1 plus 1 upon n. And at 180, cos 180 is minus 1, so it becomes minus 1 plus 1 upon n. Now we have studied about the velocity, the linear velocity and acceleration of the piston. To find the values of angular velocity and acceleration of connecting rod, let's do the derivation. Now the length of connecting rod is given as small l, and in this position we are saying that connecting rod is shown by AB1, and the angle which the connecting rod makes with the inner dead center is beta, right? So we'll solve this. We'll take a factor y. This is a construction we made earlier. We made a line, a vertical line from point A on inner dead center. So y is a common factor for triangle A1O and AB1A1, right? So in this triangle, y is L sine beta, and in this triangle y is r sine theta. So sine beta is r upon L sine theta, and we already know that n is a factor which is the ratio of length of connecting rod to the length of crank, L upon r. So the equation we get is sine beta is equal to sine theta upon n. Now when we differentiate this equation with respect to time, we get this value, which is cos beta d beta upon dt is equal to 1 upon n cos theta d theta upon dt. Right? We take this factor of cos beta on the other hand. So what we are left with is d beta upon dt. And what is d beta upon dt? It is change in the angular position of the connecting rod with respect to time, which is the angular velocity of the connecting rod denoted by omega c. And the factor cos beta, we did it in the beginning of derivation, that it is equal to 1 upon n root n square minus sine square theta. So it gets cancelled out, and this is the value of the angular velocity of connecting rod. Right? Now to find the angular acceleration. What is acceleration? It is rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So for angular acceleration, it is rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time. Now the variable with angular velocity is theta. So it becomes d omega c upon d theta into d theta upon dt, where d theta upon dt is omega. Right? So we place the value of omega c from here in this equation and differentiate it, and this is the answer that we get after the differentiation. Now you see there is a negative sign, and this negative sign, it indicates the sense of the angular acceleration of rod. That means when this angular acceleration increases, it tends to decrease the value of this beta. Means this angular acceleration is moving ahead, it will reduce the value of beta. So it shows that the sense is in clockwise direction, right? I hope you can do this differentiation part. It is simple. For fractions, we keep one part constant, differentiate the other part, plus keep the first part constant and differentiate the second part, right? Here also simple mathematics is done. So when you open the bracket, it becomes minus n square plus sine square theta, and sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1.